Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another breakdown. We got UFC 320 this Saturday. I can't wait for it. It looks like a great card. And I got a great guest for you tonight. The man, the myth, the legend, the Parlay MMA. My boy Nolan, how we doing tonight?
What is up? What is up? It's the double leg reunion. Back at it for the big card.
Forget which card we did last time. Was it 317?
Topuria Oliveira?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Back in June.
Back in June. Dang, dude.
I know.
That was only 3 pay-per-views ago, though. So, yeah, it was a long – I guess it feels like a long time ago, but it wasn't really that long ago. I mean, how do you feel about this card?
I like this card a lot. There's some underrated fights. I mean, some of these odds are getting a little wide, but I think there's a couple dogs that are going to be live to bark this Saturday.
Bro, there's so many big favorites again. I'm kind of pissed because I'm going to Vegas. I'm not going to go to the fights, but I'm going to Vegas to watch at the sportsbook. And when I was there at UFC for UFC 318, I did the same thing. Just watched the sportsbook, and the fights were in New Orleans. And that was another card where there's like a ton of big favorites. That was like Kevin Hahn was a huge favorite.
Yeah.
What's his nuts? Zellhuber was a big favorite. Gautier, big favorite. Dulatov, big favorite. Like everybody was big favorites. Like everybody was over minus 200, and now I'm in like the same boat. But at least when I was there, I made some nice coins. So maybe that's the recipe that I need.
It's a good sign.
Where is he at? I just saw a chat. Jonathan, I'm popping a chino for you right now, brother. For the good vibes.
Combination here.
Oh, dang. Double cancer.
When one cancer goes out, it's time for the other.
I'm gonna hit these chats and then we'll hop right into this.
Let's do it.
Because there's 14 fights, so we should probably rip through some of these. This decision's gonna be chocolate like women's MMA for Gary and Bilal. Dude, I just saw that fight get announced. That's insane. Ian Gary, Bilal Muhammad, gross. Like,
yeah.
Just shoot me in the face. What's up, boys? Big fan of you both. Love the breakdowns on TikTok, Nolan. Let's smack them on the head this weekend. Let's do it. Let's do
go.
It. Hey, I appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. We're going to go ahead and start breaking down these fights because there's a couple stinkers on this prelim, or at least not really much that we could say. First fight of the night, we got Veronica Hardy taking on Brogan Walker. Veronica Hardy, huge favorite. Brogan Walker has not fought in, damn near 2 years?
It's been a while.
And she's 0-2 in the UFC. She got finished by Juliana Miller, 30-27 by Yasmin Lucindo. So it's not looking good for Brogan Walker. Is there any chance that she made some massive leaps and she's coming in here and making a big upset because she's sitting at, plus 500 somewhere around there right now? Jesus Christ. Line just keeps growing.
I mean, she's 36 years old. That's kind of my issue. Like, if she was going to make these big improvements, I feel like she would have had to have done it 10 years ago. But I've never been big on her. I mean, on the Ultimate Fighter, she had some decent showings and stuff. But, the Juliana Miller fight was awful. The only thing she's kind of proven to be is somewhat tough at times. I mean, she can defend, some grappling a little bit. I don't know if Veronica Hardy finishes her inside the distance or not. But, I mean, if she stays at range, Veronica Hardy's going to win the fight. Even if it does go to the ground, gets in the grappling, I mean, Hardy's going to have the advantage there. I just don't really see a path whatsoever for Brogan Walker. And on my one bet show, the first fight of the night, I have to give out plus money every single card. It's just a rule I made that makes it kind of fun. I have no idea what I'm targeting on this one. It's just like impossible. I think Veronica Hardy wins. She's a massive favorite. I have no idea how you find a good bet on this fight.
I could tell you right now, Brogan Walker, round 1 KO. What's that, plus 5,000?
That's how you lose some followers right there.
I almost thought that said plus 50,000. And I was like, holy shit, they really aren't giving her any chance.
Yeah.
I mean, what's Veronica by sub, dude? I mean, come on. It's got to have some life, right?
You would think, yeah. She seems so small out there.
7-1. Yeah, I mean, she's not a big flyweight. Brogan's not really that big either.
Yeah.
She got fucking dominated by Juliana Miller. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could see a finish from Veronica. I mean, if she doesn't, I feel like at least she's going to get close at one point. So, some big odds on a finish from Veronica Hardy for a literal minus 800 favorite. Good Lord, dude. Veronica Hardy minus 800 in the big 2025. Disgusting. Disgusting start to the night, but you know they got to hit us with some low-level women's MMA. Let's hit these chats. Nice to see the Parlay MMA fixed his mic so it doesn't sound like he's in a library anymore.
Dude, it was one time. It was one time, bro.
There's one chat I wanted to hit. Shout out to Ryan. What's up, my boy? Where is Dix Insider right now? Man, he's slacking. He's slacking. Contender Series Tuesday was a nice cash. Absolutely. The DFS run is insane, boys. Hopefully we continue that. I love the plays this week, so knock on wood. Maybe we'll be cashing some more ticks. Let's get back to the next one, man. Yeah, I mean, no real bet for me. Maybe I'll, plug my nose on a Veronica Hardy finish prop, but probably just lay off of that fight.
Yeah.
We got Brahimaj versus Vanderford. I'm not really too keen on Vanderford, man. I mean, I understand he should be the favorite here for sure. But I don't know it should be this wide, man. I mean, he's sitting around minus 300. And I could see how it would play out as Vanderford minus 300. He'd probably have to land takedown, smother him on the ground, land some ground and pound, maybe get a late finish or ride out a win by a lay-in prey and a little bit of ground and pound. But he's 35, man. Like, he's 35. I feel like his best days are behind him. His prime years were in Bellator. He went on the run to fight for the title, got knocked out by Mousasi, which isn't bad. But then in his next fight, he gets knocked out by Aaron Jeffrey. And Aaron Jeffrey is like not a finisher, not a finisher whatsoever. And it wasn't even like he got hit with like some big knee to the face or something. Like, he caught him with the hands. Like, Vanderford gets hurt in a lot of fights, and especially in round one. So it's Ramiz round one. Maybe you could take Ramiz inside the distance or just Ramiz money line because the odds are so nice. But I'm just not really keen on a Vanderford at minus 300. I wouldn't mind fight doesn't go the distance at plus 100. But the thing with Brahimaj, I'm kind of going deep into this one, but the thing with Brahimaj is like he's not really like a huge gasser. Like, he's dangerous in round one, but it's not like he just falls off a cliff and he's getting finished in round 2 and 3. Like, he can still fight to a decision. And I don't really know that Vanderford is like going to push a pace on this guy. I just think the finishing upside's there for Brahimaj early. But maybe I'm just giving him too much credit for his back-to-back wins. I did have a bet on Vanderford in his debut, but I just think this is a much different matchup. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. I mean, if you look at Brahimaj, the dude's tough, if nothing else. I mean, you look at the loss to, who was it, Max Griffin, when his ear was like hanging off. The referee had to bring in a doctor or whatever it was and to stop the fight in the third because, I mean, he's bleeding so bad. It looked like he was literally going to lose his ear. Decision losses after that. I mean, the Timba Garimba one is just a tad bit concerning to me because he just implemented the wrestling and grappling. And I think Vanderford has some of that, but I don't know. Brahimaj has got a little momentum now. You knock out Mickey Gall after everyone calls your striking trash. Goes out there and just obliterates him. Comes in there in round one what were the odds against Billy Goff? He was a pretty big dog, wasn't he? At least plus 200.
Yeah, plus 200.
And submits him round one. I mean, he's kind of riding this little streak now. In a good camp, got some good training partners, and if he's always dangerous in the first, round and a half for sure. I think it's going to be very close. If this thing goes to the second and third, late second and the third, I think Vanderford's going to come back and make it close. But early on, I don't see any reason why Brahimaj shouldn't be winning this fight until he either starts getting wrestled up a little bit or not. Because I think early in this fight, he's definitely going to fend takedowns. I think on the feet, these guys are at a similar level. So, I mean, if you're getting this big of plus money on the dog, I was thinking about a spread bet on him when they come out just because – I mean, Brahimaj is tough to finish, man. The guy's tough as nails. I don't think Vanderford is this massive finisher at the UFC level either, especially with how old he is, too. So That's probably the way I'm leaning right now. I think this is dog or pass. I think Brahimaj is the side.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are like saying Brahimaj like doesn't really have any power. But I don't really know. Like I don't think we really know if he has power or not because he was going up against Max Griffin, who's like historically insanely tough to knock out.
Yeah.
That's who he went to decision with. He went to decision with Court McGee, who is also before he got knocked out like in back-to-back fights, was like insanely durable at that point. And then he went to decision with Temba, and Temba's you correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's ever been knocked out. He has been submitted before, which I guess it's not a really great look if he's not submitted Tembo, but I don't know. I mean, I think on the feet, Vanderford is just super hittable, super chinny. And even in his contender series fight a few years back, like he was getting put in bad spots. So I just looked at the round one prop and it's not really that great, dude. Plus 350. Like,
Oh my God.
I feel like it should be more than that, but fuck, dude. Like,
That
I
tells
thought,
you something though. Like if his round one props plus 350, his money line's plus 240, it's like,
yeah. I mean, this is weird, dude. Like, he's a plus 200 dog, right? He's a plus 250 dog, but him to win in round one is plus 350, and Vanderford to win in round is plus 600. Like,
that's weird.
what the fuck? That's like that should be backwards, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it is, but that's what I'm seeing on fight odds. So, yeah, weird one for me, but it'd be a dog or pass, and we'll see if we can get a decent number on Brahimaj round one. Trenton, I'm not a New York Yankees fan. Trust me, it's just a $10 hat I got that looked pretty decent, so I'm gonna wear it. Decent colorway. I'm a huge Brewers fan, so go Crew, go Red Sox for you. I don't know if they're in the playoffs or not, but I know my Crew are number one seed. Hate this fight, says Ish. Yeah, it's pretty gross, but still money to be made on the gross fights. We'll move on to the next one. Punahele Soriano, Nikolai Veretennikov. Nico V, man. Disgusting fighter, in my opinion, but he comes in here as a dog. I just checked the odds, dude. The odds are
insane.
growing. They're growing pretty heavily for Puna. He sits at minus 332. Veretennikov comes back at plus 272. I mean, Puna at minus 330 is like, it's getting a bit rich, man. It's getting a bit rich. Like, I know his back-to-back wins look pretty good. He was dominant in the Baeza fight, and then he knocked out Medic in round one. But this guy, he seems to fumble the ball when he's like a big favorite, and I'm not really looking to play him at chalk. I do think he probably wins. I think he probably has a huge wrestling upside here. Probably the more dangerous striker. But Nico's not a terrible fighter. He just doesn't really do anything well, in my opinion. So probably a stay away, in all honesty, for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I wish Nikolai had just like a little bit more edge to him, like a little more physicality or aggressiveness or something, and I'd be all over him. Because this is interesting. Like the line or the fight to go over 1.5 rounds is minus 175. So the books are thinking this thing's going at least probably late second into the third. Punahele, I mean, he's shown to gas a little bit in some of these fights and get tired. And he's a massive favorite to win the fight. So if Nikolai comes out here and strikes with him a little bit and Punahele can't knock him out and Punahele starts eating a few shots and he starts wrestling, like, I feel like Punahele could get tired a little bit in this spot. And Nikolai, he doesn't do anything great, but I watched this fight against Michael Morales on the Contender Series. One thing he was doing in that fight was he was the one on the front foot, walking him down for a majority of the fight until he got beat. Like, he's not a great striker, but he's got the ability to eat a few shots and walk his opponents down. That's kind of the style I think gives Puna problems. Puna off the back foot, I don't really have much trust in. If Nikolai can just do that, like, I think he can make it a little bit interesting. But like I said, man, he's just missing like some kind of aggressiveness or power or something to where if you're holding that dog ticket, I'm not really sure what you're hoping for as far as, a path to victory here. Just stuffing takedowns and making it close on the feet. But, Punahele's going to land the harder shots, probably going to win the judges over with that alone. Yeah, it's a tough one for me. There's not really a side that I like here at all.
So they got the round line at 1.5, but then the fight to go the distance is plus 190. So, I mean, they're kind of telling you it's going to end like late second.
Yeah.
into the third, which is like super weird.
Yeah.
To have a plus money at 157 on the under 1.5 and then a plus 190 on the fight to go the distance. Very odd. Because I don't think Puna's gonna like finish him in late round 2 or round 3. Like I think it'd probably be coming earlier, or he's probably gonna go to decision. What's Puna by decision? Plus 250. That's not bad, dude. It's not bad. I mean, Nico did get TKO by Vanderford, but I don't know, man. Like it didn't really look like he was out. Like it just looked like he needed to improve his position, and he just wasn't. Like he even protested it right away. And fucking Soriano had Baeza. He could have finished Baeza at like any point, and they just let it go to decision. So Puna by decision doesn't look too bad to me at plus 250, or even just the fight to go at plus 190. I don't think Veretennikov should be this big of a dog. Like, at least he's serviceable in most aspects, you know? So, another weird
I feel like I remember like he had a terrible weight cut or was sick or hurt or something in that Vanderford fight.
It was short too, right?
It was there was something weird about it. And he got finished by ground and pound, but he also went in there against Danny Barlow and ate a ton of massive shots the fight before that. No problem. Went out there, same thing against Francisco Prado, ate some big shots, won that fight by split decision. I mean, I think the guy's tough enough. And you look at Puna, I mean, if Puna can't knock him out standing and goes to the wrestling and even has success with it, I mean, Puna didn't finish Miguel Baeza with 14 minutes of control time and ground and pound. I think maybe Puna decision might be the play.
All right, let's move on. We got Patchy coming in on the prelims. Not the main card anymore for Mr. Patrick Mix. Taking on Jakub Wikłacz. He is the KSW champ at 135. Coming over and taking on the former Bellator champion in Patchy Mix. I really think Patchy should be able to get this one done. I'm watching a lot of tape on Wikłacz. The guy needs to grapple. It's like you don't really want to grapple with Patchy. I guess maybe he could hurt Patchy on the feet, but Patchy's got a chin, and Patchy is super tough. And I don't think Jakub is as durable as Patchy. And Patchy's kind of sneaky with the way he strikes. And I don't think Jakub is anywhere near the striker that Bautista is. So I think this is two grapplers. I think Patchy's the much better grappler. Both dangerous, but I think Patchy just fought a lot better competition. So I think Patchy gets it done. He's sitting at about minus 300 right now. That's getting to about the point where I would probably halt the action. I think he's probably good to like minus 350, minus 400 if you're going to parlay him. But I like Patchy this week. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually think Patchy is going to have a good chance to sub him because, like you said, I mean, Jakub's got to go to the wrestling and grappling. Like he's not going to stand there and win a striking battle against Patchy, even though Patchy looked really, really bad against Batista. I feel like there's a ton of factors that went into that fight. Obviously, the debut, you're coming over from a big organization into the biggest organization. Those guys don't always pan out. They panic, whatever the case may be. I always love taking guys in their sophomore outing that are coming from organizations. Like this is the perfect spot for Patchy to make a point to show that he does belong. I think the UFC's kind of given him this opportunity on a big pay-per-view card against a style that is going to fit perfectly to him. I mean, if this guy wants to go and try to grapple with Patchy, I mean, Patchy's damn good. He might not be the best fighter in the world like a lot of people thought he was at this weight class, but he's one of the better grapplers still, I think. And I think he's going to be able to showcase that here. So, yeah, I think this Patchy Mix sub, just probably what I'm going to be playing. I haven't really seen a line for it yet, though, for the sub prop.
Let me pull it up real quick.
I'm going to guess it's not great.
Plus
160, 150?
175. Plus 175 on the sub. Yeah, that's not bad. I would probably just play the inside the distance plus 130.
Yeah.
Just in case, because the Jakub dudes be getting hit with a lot of shit on the feet. Patchy's got some sneaky knees. He's not really a knockout guy, but submission bet. It's just been fucking brutal, man. It's just been brutal, dude. Like, I cannot get a submission bet to save my life. I think the last one I hit was like Tatsuro Taira or some shit. But, dude, Patchy is a nasty grappler. And he was talking a bunch of game when he came into the UFC. And I was hearing that he was subbing Merab in the training room, so I was like, okay, this is interesting. You know, Patchy is subbing Merab, who's the champion, in the training room with ease, and I guess it makes sense. You know, he's a front headlock or front choke guy.
Yeah.
And Merab's a guy that shoots a bunch of takedowns, but we'll see. We'll see this Saturday if that is as good as he says, and I think it probably will be. Give me Patch, big Patch. Hated Patchy's debut, but got him in my parlay early. Good. You probably got him at a much better line than what it is right now.
Round 2, round 3 is interesting too, because like I think this kid is his opponent is like a decent grappler, might be able to hang for a round, but I think with the debut jitters, all that, and all the grappling that's going to take place, I think he might slow down a little bit. And Patchy's dangerous at any point in the fight. So round 2, round 3 might be a little juicy.
Yeah, round 2, round 3, sitting at plus 650 round 2, plus 925 round 3.
That's interesting.
That's nice. All right, let's move on to some women. We got Macy Chiasson taking on Yana Santos. Santos coming off the victory against Miesha Tate. Won the first 2, lost the third, nearly got submitted in the third. And Chiasson coming off a pretty bad loss to Ketlin Vieira, where I'm pretty sure everybody had Macy Chiasson in their parlays there. And she didn't even get taken down. She just got put on her back and held on the ground for a good amount of time. I think Ketlin Vieira is a much better wrestler and grappler than Yana Santos. And, you know, I don't think Macy Chiasson is some amazing fighter, not some amazing grappler, but she's going to be much taller, much longer than Yana Santos. I think her stand-up is solid here. I think Chiasson has all the grappling upside here against Yana. I think the way that Yana wins this is like if Macy's just being really passive throughout the fight. I think if Macy pushes forward, looks for those takedowns. On the film that I watched, Yana Santos can't stop a trip takedown from the clinch to save her life. And that's a takedown that Macy Chiasson goes to a lot. So I think Macy Chiasson gets her wrestling going here and wins. I could see her getting a finish too, just because she is a finisher, and Yana Santos has been finished many, many times by a KO or by sub. So I like Macy Chiasson, and inside the distance, I'm going to check that number. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Yana Santos getting finished by Aspen Ladd is a bad look. And that was, 6 years ago when Yana was still, that was right in the middle when she was on like I don't know, she's like 4-1 in her last 5 fights around that time. So yeah, no, I think the size and physicality is what's going to be an issue for her here. And she's a little bit slower at this, at a stage of her career, not as dangerous. Her wins lately, it's Chelsea Chandler, and that was a nail biter, and Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate, had chances late in the fight. So I think Macy's going to have chances to get to the clinch when she wants. And like you said, man, she's good with the trip takedowns. We've seen Santos taken down plenty of times. And that's where that size and physicality is going to come into place. I don't really know if Chiasson's going to finish her here or not. I think what was Macy's odds earlier in the week? -180. It's -200 right now. I don't know. For me, from a betting standpoint, this is probably a pass on this fight. But yeah, I think Chiasson wins if I'm going to take a pick here.
Yeah, we got Chiasson -200. I honestly think that's solid. I really think she's probably going to have a massive grappling upside here against Yana, and a massive lesbian upside here against Yana. I saw the inside the distance for Chiasson was +185, and then the fight doesn't go as +170. I'd rather just play the +170, honestly, because, I mean, Macy Chiasson at the end of the day did get knocked out by a fucking up kick to the liver. So, yeah, I don't want to lose my bet because I wanted, +0.1 or 0.15 more odds. So I like the ends inside the distance there, and Chiasson money line -200. What's the decision line? Yeah, +125. Nah, I'd rather go for the ends ITD. I saw my boy JB in here. How we doing, JB? Patchy finish, Pyfer finish, Ankalaev finish, 13-20 says Ding.
Oh shit! What up, Ding?
Not bad. Shout out to Ding. Rude One hit the Jordan sub +1200 last night. Likely going to blow the profit today on MLB. Well, Dana White Contender Series subs are scary. Dude, that one, I actually contemplated that one, and I was pissed because I was like, I was actually going to play that fight to end by sub because you could get both sides. And Diaz almost got it in round 1. But as soon as he went for that choke in round 3, I was like, of course. Yeah. This is the one I don't play, and it fucking hits. But yeah, shout out to little Jourdain there. First word I hear entering this team is lesbian. I'm all ears. I mean, come on, dude. Like, look at just look at these girls. Yana Santos, Russian, blonde, muscular, but feminine looking. Macy Chiasson just looks like Butch, dude. She looks like Butch. You would not mistake that girl for being straight whatsoever. So I mean, she's definitely got that a little edge in the matchup for sure.
To add on to your finishing prop on that fight, Chiasson's 3 of her last 4 have all ended inside the distance. That nasty cut to Mayra Bueno Silva, which I think like she can get something like that here too, because I think she is going to find herself on top in dominant position. She's really good with her elbows. Submits Panny Kinzad. I think subs on the table too. I kind of like that finish prop the more that you talk about it.
Yeah, fuck. What was the sub?
Sub is plus 450.
Yeah.
Knockouts plus 400.
It's not bad. Of course, it's right after we're talking about not hitting sub bets, we're talking about fucking sub. But
Yeah.
I mean, Santos nearly got subbed by Tate last time out too. So I mean, if it hits the ground, I feel like she's going to be the much better grappler because Santos is a kickboxer, lifelong kickboxer. So I mean, she's done enough to try to get her ground game as good as it can get, but I don't think it's getting any better.
Right.
All right, we're moving on. We got the featherweights here. Daniel Santos taking on Ju Sang Yu. Ju Sang Yu, big knockout KO against Jeka Sergey. He might be still sleeping right now. Daniel Santos, a win over Jung Young Lee in a fight that I don't want to say he won dominantly, but he pulled away with it after round 1 fairly dominantly and won the decision there. It's a good fight, man. It's a good fight. I picked the dog in Ju Sang Yu. I'm not sure if I'm going to bet it, but it is tempting. What do you think?
Yeah, I originally liked the dog too, but I'm not as confident now looking at, some of Daniel Santos' fights and his record in general. Like, I mean, the John Castaneda, being hit that many times and hurt and coming back, he's just the guy that fights tooth and nail the whole 15 minutes of fights. And I've just yet to really seen it at this level from Ju Sang Yu. Like, Ju Sang Yu is probably going to win the first round at a high clip if it stays on the feet, maybe even hurt him, knock him out. But if not, it's like that second and third round that I'm interested to see what happens. Because if Ju Sang Yu starts slowing down a little bit, I think a lot of things open up for Daniel Santos. I think the wrestling starts to open up a little bit. His striking is dangerous enough too. The Jung Young Lee performance was pretty solid. This guy's on how many? 1, 2, 3 fight win streak. Took a loss to Julio Arce and then 2 wins before that. And this guy's put together a good little run here in the last 6 years. So Daniel Santos is a tough guy to finish. He's a tough guy to beat, as his record would show you. So I don't know. It makes me nervous, man. Makes me nervous. I'm still trying to get swayed one side or the other here. Like, I think the striking, obviously, Ju Sang Yu's super, super talented and powerful. But, past that, what happens in round 2, round 3? That's my questions.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of upside with you as the underdog because, he's probably the cleaner striker than Daniel Santos. Doesn't get his hit as much as Daniel Santos, but we don't really know if his ground game is going to be good enough. And I was very impressed with the way that Santos got his wrestling going against Jung Young Lee. But Lee hurt him bad in round 1. And somehow they still scored that round for Daniel Santos. I don't know how, but they did. And the thing with Lee is he kind of is willing to get into like a firefight, get into a brawl. I think Yu is just much cleaner than that. Like, he's not going to get dragged into that, let's stand in the pocket and bang. I think he's more of a set some traps and then capitalize on them. So it just kind of comes down to if Yu's going to have the room to work to set those traps and land those shots, and if he's going to be able to keep it on the feet. So I think there's some upside with Yu. I don't mind fight doesn't go the distance here at plus 105 because I think if Santos gets his grappling going, he might be able to tire him out, maybe get a late sub. I think you could maybe knock out Santos. Santos has been hurt multiple occasions. And if Santos is just, walking through his shit, like, I feel like you're going to have multiple chances for this fight to end inside the distance. So at plus money, that doesn't look too bad to me. What do you think? Any bets here that you're liking?
Yeah, I mean, if I lean towards anything, I would think fight ends by knockout, maybe, or just take the fight inside the distance at plus money. Um, I do think that Juseng Yu, especially in the first round and a half, like I said, I think he's going to have big moments. I do think his footwork is going to make it hard for Santos to get the wrestling going, even if he wanted to. And while this thing's standing, Juseng Yu, that shot he hit Jekka Sergi with was really short, accurate, and clean. I mean, he didn't cock back or anything. He just touched the button. That style of striking shows that he can fight guys when they're blitzing forward, or he can fight, being the one on the front foot. I think Daniel Santos kind of walks into shots, and that's exactly the style that Juseng Yu is good with. So yeah, fight ends inside the distance at plus money. Probably my favorite out of everything. If not, I think it's probably dog or pass, but just not a confident one.
JB says, I think Santos is going to sub him. That's sitting at plus 700, maybe plus 600 or more. That's pretty high.
Ends inside the distance, cover both sides. That's the good thing about these matchups like this.
Thank you for the compliment there, Dano. KO plus 430 for you. I could see Santos getting his takedowns going. Yeah, I could see that as well. Is it degenerate to bet against Hardy at her odds? I mean, I would say it's a hope. It's a hope and a prayer at that point. Maybe you get a little DQ, I don't like the fight doesn't go the distance because he might not sub you, just get takedowns. Yeah, I mean, maybe he could just ride out top time, but I don't know.
He seems more aggressive than that, though.
Yeah.
He's a guy who wants to go out there and have like a war, whether it's with ground and pound or on the feet.
I will say this, though. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Ian Gary was in Santos's corner last time, and Ian Gary was just telling him to like hold the position because he's won the fight. I'm like, dude, fuck you. Like, you just gotta make these exciting fighters go to decisions now, don't you? Little bitch. All right.
Yeah.
Good fight, though. I'm excited for that one.
It's a banger.
We got Gutierrez taking on Farid Basharat. Basharat still undefeated. Gutierrez coming off the win to John Castaneda. Classic Gutierrez split decision victory. He comes in here as a big dog, a real big dog. He's sitting at plus 350 right now against Farid Basharat. Is there any value on the dog?
I don't know. I'm not a big Gutierrez guy, and I actually bet him against John Castaneda pretty big, but the reason, not even the reason, it was a bad bet, I mean, in general, because, this went to a very close split decision. I was there live, and I was like, why did I even think about taking a side here? Ended up getting it right. Bad bets lose, or bad bets still win some of the times. He just doesn't do enough for me. He's got good striking. He's got decent leg kicks, but it's like he goes out there and has a sparring match with everybody he fights. And that's just not really going to get it done with a guy in Farid Basharat who loves that exact style. And he's probably going to be better, faster. He's younger, and he's super skilled all the way around. So we've seen Gutierrez get put on his back, too, by guys like Quang Lee. I think Farid could go to that if he had to, or at least mix it in. Farid is just a lot different than his brother, Javid, whereas Farid will mix in all of his skills. He might strike with you a little bit, get ahead, and then land a takedown in there and do some work on the mat, too. So I think Farid is the real deal. Javid's, had a rough little patch here, but yeah, I think Farid's the rightful favorite. Not really interested at this price. I think earlier on in the month, or about a month ago when the lines came out, you could get a decent little parlay piece, but I think all the meat off that bone's gone, and I'll take Farid for the pick, but probably not even going to take a shot with the dog here.
Yeah. I don't think I would parlay Basharat at minus 450, but I do think he wins, and I think there's a lot of grappling upside for Basharat. I mean, I don't really think Gutierrez has what's his game plan here? It's just his normal game plan, which is skirt around the cage, throw some kicks, throw some jabs, and chip away at him. But I don't really think Basharat's going to let him do that. And Basharat's grappling looks pretty dang good, and I've seen Gutierrez get put on his back and grappled up by lesser competition. So I think Basharat gets his grappling going here. I could see him getting a decision victory, but I was also maybe interested in a Basharat late finish, either 2-3, or possibly just betting like a submission bet on Basharat at plus 500. Maybe get something better. What's Basharat 2-3? Because I know he's going to decision, but he's fighting like Taylor Lapilus, tough to finish.
Right.
Damon Blackshear, tough to finish. And even his last fight against Victor Hugo, he was a big favorite in that one. And I had a small bet on Victor Hugo, like plus 400. And he beat him pretty cleanly, man. Like Victor Hugo's a physical, good grappler, and he was still able to grapple him up. So I don't know. I mean, I think Basharat inside the distance could be a decent look. Plus 285. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not.
For a minus 450 favorite,
And the guy who's got to get more finishes to his name too, if he wants to keep,
Yeah.
climbing the ranks and stuff. Because at some point in the UFC, everybody knows you can go on a win streak. If you're not finishing, especially, as a good striker and submission artist, like you're just gonna stop getting the big fights.
He's been training at ATT as well, and they do a good job at turning their grapplers into finishers with ground and pound and softening guys up, looking for subs. So definitely going to keep an eye on that one. But at minus 450, I'm probably not going to parlay it.
Yeah.
All right, we got Edmund Shahbazyan taking on Andre Muniz. Shahbazyan coming in here off the decision victory against Andre Petrosky, and Muniz are a round 1 KO loss to Ikram Alaskarov, his 6th KO loss of his career. Muniz is the older fighter by, I believe, 7 years, and Shahbazyan comes in as a big favorite, sitting at minus 300, and I really think he probably covers that price, minus 310 now. I think he probably covers the price, dude. Like, I don't really see how Muniz has much success in this one unless he is able to get in a really good position against Shahbazyan early, because he's just too slow for Shahbazyan on the feet. He's not durable. His striking isn't very good. I think Shahbazyan probably deads him. Muniz's cardio isn't that great either, and I think Shahbazyan's cardio is never amazing, but like he's got good skills in round 1. So like, is Muniz gonna take him down and submit him in round 1? Possibly, but I don't really see it happening. I think Shahbazyan can either stuff the takedown or get back up, and I think Shahbazyan probably puts him away within the first 7.5 minutes. So I like Shahbazyan here. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think if Shahbazyan gets subbed, it's more of like a slip on a banana peel, falls over while he's trying to kick Muniz in the head or something like that, and Muniz jumps on the back. I do think Shahbazyan could be in some danger if Muniz does take the back or, gets him on the ground, because Muniz is just that much better of a grappler. But honestly, the way I see it going down is Edmund just kind of running through this guy. Edmund, his cardio has kind of failed him at times, and it's got him beat to guys like GM3. But, Muniz's cardio has been pretty bad too. So I think he's, Edmund's not at quite a disadvantage if this fight goes late. And on the feet, like, this isn't even going to be close. I mean, Muniz hasn't shown great striking whatsoever, and that's one thing that Shahbazyan, he's got the losses in the UFC, but while fights are standing, especially in the first 2 rounds, the guy is as dangerous as they come, super sharp, kicks are good, and Muniz can get hurt. So at the end of the day, if I had to go one way or the other, I think this is Edmund Shahbazyan KO for sure. It's minus 190. There's not really much to do with that one. I think you look, KO parlayed with the under or something like that. But I think more times than not, Shahbazyan smokes this guy.
Yeah, KO 1's plus 190. Honestly,
plus 190 for one.
I don't hate it.
Yeah,
plus 190. I mean, I guess maybe he could get it in round 2, but maybe you just play round 1 or 2. So I mean, I think it looks good, man. I think it looks good, unless Muniz, goes to the Garden of Youth and injects it into his chin. But I think he's got him covered here.
Bro, if Paul Craig can TKO you.
Yeah, I mean,
Shahbazyan can do it.
It's a bad look. I mean, he gassed out against Paul Craig, and it's not like Paul Craig pushes some crazy pace, Like it's a real bad look. Edmund could get him out of there by the second, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Can't bet Edmund, says JB. Well, I did, bro. I did. Love it, boys. Thanks for doing these videos. Of course, brother. Of course. It's what we're here for. This takes us to the featured prelim. Gautier taking on Tristan Vines. Stepping in for Ozzy Diaz. Gautier was minus 1,000 to Ozzy Diaz, and I don't think we have odds yet on this one. At least I haven't seen them, but I expect them to be very, very large in the side of Gautier. A little bit about Tristan Vines. He's 10-3, all losses by round one knockout.
That's not a good setup for this fight.
How long is this fight gonna last?
I think you look at the under 60 seconds prop if you can find one on the book, because short notice against this guy is just awful. I mean, he's gonna unless this dude comes out here and just grapples his ass off and does it successfully. Like, I feel like he's just a sitting duck to get sparked. There's levels in this game for a reason. Vines, his record. Who did he fight last? Let's see. It was somebody who's just kind of starting their pro career. Only had 3 or 4 wins. Ethan Hughes in AFC 12 got finished, or he won by first round knockout. He's got a few submissions on his record and stuff, but I look at Gautier, man. I think the physicality. I think he's gonna be able to stuff takedowns unless it's a really high level wrestler, a good grappler. I don't think Vines is exactly that. This is just such a tough spot to make your debut. Not giving him much hope. Maybe a puncher's chance. But I think this is Gautier really early, man.
Yeah, I watched about 5 or 6 of Vines' fights, and I think he got hurt in every single one of them, if not knocked out. And that's not a good thing going up against Gautier.
Yeah.
But he did show some decent grappling. So, I mean, if he can get down and get to the back really quick of Gautier, that's probably his win condition, because I don't really see him hold him down for that long. Even though Gautier is not good off his back, if he doesn't finish him on the ground, the next round starts on the feet, and then Gautier's gonna knock him out in round 2. So I mean, this is a tough one. So Gautier, don't have odds, but round 1 KO looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you got Gautier. Last thing I'll say, 6'4". The guy is just built to all hell, strong, physical, and Vines, 6 foot tall. I just think Gautier is going to be so much stronger and more physical. Even if Vines does want to go to the wrestling early, I think it's just going to be he's going to wait to get met with a knee or something up the middle eventually. So yeah. Gautier is a freak, man.
Good luck, bro. Should win. I just hate how mentally weak he seems. No offense to him, but he fumbles a lot. Talking about Shahbazyan. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's good. I think he was just young in his career. He's only 27, 28 right now. So, I mean, he just had a kid, too. You'll mature a little bit when you got a kid. Round 1 KO for Gautier, of course. DK got the 60-second prop. I mean, what do you think that prop's going to be? Plus 200?
Maybe.
Come on.
I think you look under a half round. Sometimes they got those.
Was Valentin under a minute against his last fight?
Let me see.
It was 1:10, a minute 10.
Oh shit! And then what was let's see.
Medina was 3 minutes 32 seconds.
Medina's at least a little tough.
Yeah, the thing with Gautier, he's not just rushing in there.
Yeah, he is pretty composed,
semi-patient. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, they might steal your money on that one. It'll probably be 62 seconds or something.
Yeah.
What if Vegas makes a call and goes to round 2? I mean, then I'll fucking make a call to Vegas and tell them I'm coming to rob them. I wonder what the odds.
You'll be there, so
yeah, I'll be there. Right now, Edmund, what D-men, but a table line ain't up. Yeah. All right, boys, we're going to go to the main card of the evening. And before we do that, make sure if you're in the YouTube chat, hit the like button for me. I'd appreciate that a lot. We're taking some time out of our days to drop some free knowledge on you. And I'm going to cut off the Instagram live right now. So if you're in the Instagram live, come on over to YouTube. There's a link on my story and you can watch there. All right, they're out of here. It's just us and X. We got the first fight on the main card. Big Joe. You see his new nickname that they want to give him, body cam off Pyfer.
Oh my God.
It's like hilarious, but it's also like kind of cringy. But
in the year 2025,
yeah,
it's just like
it's like maybe not. But
yeah,
Joe
that's funny.
Pyfer comes in as the favorite, taking on Abus Magomedov. Magomedov coming off the victory to Michel Pereira. Pyfer the victory over KG. Big Calvin Gaslow. What are you thinking on this one?
If Pyfer loses to Abus Magomedov, like, you know, how Pyfer is all America first, all this stuff. If he loses to a Dagestani or Russian, like, we got to watch this dude's like every movement, put him on the old watch because this guy's mentally not going to be with it. I do think, though, he's going to land on Abus if he can eat some shots. I mean, both these guys might get a little tired, but Abus is kind of shown to be a little bit more of a gasser than Joe, I think. Unless Abus gets the wrestling going early, then he's gonna, you know, set himself up for a really close fight down to the end. But I don't know. I feel like Joe's physicality can keep it on the feet here. I think he'll land the bigger shots. I've never really been super impressed with Abus, and I bet on him pretty good against Michel Pereira. He didn't look great in that one either for being what Michel Pereira is right now. Like, he won the fight. He should have won the fight looking back at it. But, you know, he was pretty tired in that one too. Had to eat a few shots. If Pyfer's landing those, it's a little bit different story. I think Pyfer wins the fight. I'm not really in love with this line or anything like that. But I don't know. Maybe look for a fight ends by finishing this one too, because both guys do have a little bit of power. Pyfer's got a lot more power. Somebody's gonna gas probably if it goes late. I think you're looking at a finish here.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm tempted to just go with the square bet and take Pyfer by KO because, like, the way that this dude lands, it's like he's so fast that he's accurate with his shots. The only thing I don't like is he's a little bit low volume. Like, he just seems like he's waiting for the right opportunity to throw. But can I knock him? Like, when he does go, he lands clean and usually lands hard. So I think Pyfer probably gets it done probably by knockout. But I do question, like, how he does against another good kickboxer who's relatively his size, who's a really good kicker. Like, Abus is a really good kicker, and he's a good kicker from range. So, I mean, if he can keep him at range to where Joe's, you know, loading up on a right hand and he's swinging at air and he's just teep kicking him to the body and trying to, you know, close that distance, but he can't really do it because he's not throwing anything to get inside the distance. That's what kind of would make me a little bit hesitant on the Pyfer side. I think the wrestling, I don't think either guy's really going to dominate one or the other in the wrestling. Cardio-wise, I don't really think it's going to be like a high-paced fight, so I don't know if it's going to play a factor. But, yeah, I'm not really sure if I'm going to bet anything on this one. I think Pyfer by KO is probably the most likely outcome, and I think the books agree with me there. But I'm not really sure if I'm going to play it because it just seems so square. And I could see Pyfer just not finding the shot, you know, because Abus tends to move around a little bit. So I can't really give a solid bet on that one, to be honest. But it's an interesting fight.
Yeah, no, like the Jack Hermanson loss, like, wasn't a good look. But, I mean, Pyfer in every single fight, he's either finding the knockout or he's winning round 2, or he's winning the first 2 rounds at a super high clip. This is only a 3-round fight. I think the guy's tough enough to where it's going to be hard to put away. I mean, even if the Jack Hermanson fight was a 3-rounder, he'd have won 29-28. So, yeah, I don't know what, unless it's just a dominant wrestling performance from Abus, I just don't really know what he's going to do to win a bunch of minutes here. So,
yeah. He tends to fight on thin margins too.
Yeah.
Right. And fucking the reactions that he's had in some fights, it's like, oh, like he was flying all over the cage against Bruno Ferreira. And I'm like, good Lord, dude. Like, I had a bet on him there. I'm like, dude, please just wrestle this dude. Like, I don't want to sweat this anymore.
Even against Michel Pereira in Kansas City, like, I was in the crowd and we had really good seats. So we're sitting there watching. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to die in round 3. Like, one of these guys is going to literally keel over and die right here. And I was just praying to make it to the bell, and he did. But, you know, when you got a guy like Pyfer throwing at you, I think that could be, you know, a little bit different. Yeah.
Toad. Shout out to Toad. Hope to God Pyfer doesn't get low kicked mogged like he did against the Joker. True. I just don't know if Abus can keep that up. Like, like Hermanson does. Pyfer doesn't take punches well. I haven't really seen any like bad reactions to punches, honestly. Feel that too. All right, moving on. We got some featherweights. We got Josh Emmett taking on Yusuf Zalal. Zalal comes in. Wait for it. At minus 550. Minus 550 on Yusuf Zalal against the 40-year-old Josh Emmett. And now that I'm seeing this and I'm remembering the last time I was in Vegas and it was the Zell Huber Michael Johnson fight, the Daniel Rodriguez Kevin Holland fight, where the Unks came through as huge dogs. Like Josh Emmett's now plus 400, which seems insane. It seems insane, but I think he loses, man. I think he loses. I think Zalal is just going to skirt around the cage like he normally does and just be the more fluid, quicker, more active striker who's landing more, better defense. I don't think Josh Emmett's going to really be able to mix in any takedowns here. And I think Zalal's probably actually the better grappler. I could see either a club and sub from Zalal, or if Zalal can get his back, I could see him maybe getting a sub, but I think it's probably a decision for Zalal here. I just don't think I'm going to bet it, man, because the odds are just way out there. What do you think?
Yeah, this one scares me a little bit because, Zalal's probably going to be like one of the most parlayed fighters on the entire card just because of the little run he's on and everything. But you look at the run, when he came back into the UFC, he beats Billy Quarantillo, who is now probably on the verge of retirement, losing a lot of fights, getting finished in fights now. Jarno Aaron's no longer on the roster. Jack Shore, no longer on the roster, retired or whatever he is. Calvin Kattar, who just, couldn't really get anything going, and then late in the fight was having a little bit of success. But Josh Emmett, man, if he's a few years younger and still, as fast as he was, I'd be a little more hopeful at these odds. I think what this fight's going to look like is Zalal skirting the outside and Josh Emmett chasing him all over the place, kind of like Ilia Topuria, but without, Ilia's obviously got way more power and ability to stand in the pocket and trade. I just think Zalal is a very smart fighter. He knows what Emmett's going to want to do, and he's just going to adapt to that and kind of run away a little bit. And I think it's going to be somewhat of a boring fight unless somebody gets clipped. So, yeah, I would pick Zalal for the official pick, but from a betting standpoint, I don't know. These odds are so big. It's like you're talking about a guy in Josh Emmett who's fought championship level for a long, long time, has been in the game for a long, long time, and is never out of any fight at any point. So it's interesting, man.
Yeah, Emmett's durable, and his grappling is fine. I don't think his takedown defense on paper is pretty trash, but I don't really expect Zalal like level changing here and getting easy takedowns. But Emmett did get sub by Yair off his back. So I mean, if Josh Emmett's looking for some takedowns here, I mean Zalal's a good grappler who's long and lengthy, kind of like Yair. So that could be a possibility, but I think it's probably a decision for Yusuf. I mean, the line is just like this line just seems crazy, like Josh Emmett's plus 400, but at the same time, I really just give him like a puncher's chance, dude. Like he's not going to win a lot of minutes here. And is he going to have like grappling upside where he's holding him on the ground, like doing damage? Like, I don't really think so. So maybe he could land the shot. I don't really think so. Give me Zalal by decision, but the odds are, I don't even think it's playable, man. Minus 190.
This would be a lot different if like Zalal had a questionable chin, or we've seen him crack before. But even in his losses in his first UFC stint, it's Ilia Topuria lost by a unanimous decision. Like Ilia wasn't putting him out. Sungwoo Choi didn't put him out. Sean Woodson didn't put him out. Damon Blackshear didn't sub him or hurt him or anything. So yeah, I think he's durable, and that's what could give Emmett problems. If he's eating those shots, in between eating big shots, Zalal's probably going to be racking up points. So it's a tough one. I hate the odds.
Just gonna look at the Zalal sub is plus 500. It's not bad, dude. I mean, I don't think Zalal really has that many decision victories. Like he's kind of a finisher.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, let me just look.
Yeah, he's got 3 subs and 1 decision in his last 4. No, 5. 4 subs, 1 decision.
He's 4-6 to the decision, man. Like,
yeah. That's interesting. Like Billy Q's not an easy guy to sub, and he did that pretty easily. Jack Shore's a great grappler. He subbed him pretty easily.
Yeah, that was a club and sub though.
Yeah, you're right. It was.
But the thing with Josh is if he's gonna be pressuring a lot, he's like a low to the ground type of guy, like load up on an overhand. Like Zalal's got some good knees up the middle too.
Mm-hmm.
Times him really well. So I mean that sub at plus 500 is kind of tempting. Another fucking sub bet. Just gotta throw it out there, you know.
Just you gotta find good spots on this card because
a sub bet for every fight. Like, ridiculous. All right, we got a great one here. We got Yuri Prochazka taking on Khalil Rountree. Rountree comes in as the dog. Yuri the favorite. Yuri knocking out Jamal his last time out, and Khalil going to decision with Jamal his last time out in a 5-rounder. I think this fight is 7.5 minutes for Khalil, maybe 5, honestly, when it comes down to it. I think he could knock him out in the first, but after, it goes into the second, I think Yuri's just going to be too much of a motherfucker on him, just like pressuring the shit out of him. And I don't really think Khalil can fight like on the back foot. Like he needs to be either the one being the aggressor, or you guys have to be like standing facing each other and just going back and forth. Like he needs space to operate. I don't really know if Yuri's going to give him that. The problem is Yuri's like hurting every single fight. So, man, I could see Khalil hurting him early, maybe knocking him out, but Yuri's got good recoverability. So even if he does hurt him early, I think Yuri recovers, and then he just does what Yuri fucking does and marches people down and doesn't give you any room to breathe. And I think he breaks Khalil. So I think Yuri gets it done here. I don't mind an under 2.5 or something like that, sitting at minus 205 in a parlay. But other than that, what do you think?
I wish Khalil was just a little more active while he's on the feet because he's super sharp. I mean, everybody knows his kickboxing is very, very good, hits hard. But, he only lands like 3.7 significant strikes, 3.79 significant strikes per minute. And if you look at his defense, like he's getting hit with 4.24. And, you look at that alone mixed in with Yuri's style. I mean, Yuri's going to march forward. He's going to have to eat a few shots. But like you said, man, he might overwhelm him. And Yuri's that, that's his game. He's going to get in your face. He's going to hit you with shots you don't really see coming. And, when Khalil starts getting backed up and he starts eating shots, it's not that he panics, but he almost doesn't let his hands go even more so than he already does. Like he becomes really low volume when he's scooting backwards, eating shots. So, if that happens here, I think Yuri's definitely going to be live for some kind of finish, maybe decision. But, Khalil's getting a little older too. So it's interesting. At some point, this damage, he took against Alex Pereira was super nasty. I know he beat Jamal Hill, but that fight was kind of a stinker both ways. 5 rounds, neither guy really having crazy, crazy big moments. Yeah, I think Yuri, being that his only 2 losses in the UFC, or a guy like Alex Pereira, this is a little bit smaller of a guy in Khalil, a guy that I think Yuri will be able to back up better than he could a guy like Alex. And I think he's going to find a lot of success here. I understand people taking the shot on Khalil just because of what he's done lately outside the Pereira fight. But Yuri's a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, I think Rountree round 1 at plus 600 is some big odds, man. Like that's not bad. What's Rountree round 1 KO? Plus 650. I just think if the fight extends, like Yuri's just going to be too much for him. And if there's any grappling in this fight, it's going to come from Yuri. Like if Yuri's in trouble, he could go to his grappling. Not that it's some amazing skill set, but it is an option. I was going to look at the money line here. The money line, it opened at minus 110, got bet up to minus 190. If it comes down to like minus 150, I'll probably have to get involved because I think he probably wins 65% of the time. And I think, Khalil, I don't think his cardio is terrible, but it's clear that if you push a pace on him, like he's just not the same fighter, it's just not the same. And even in the fight that he had with Pereira was obliging to a kickboxing battle without
Right.
pressuring him early, and that's why he had a ton of success. So if Yuri can get the pressure going, I think he breaks him.
Yeah, I think Khalil, like what I've noticed watching his tape, and you can even look at his record, like he does well when other fighters like an Alex Pereira are wanting to have a pretty kickboxing fight. And I think the movement of Yuri and the angles he's going to be throwing shots from could frustrate him to the point where he's just not really getting his offense off. Like Jamal Hill is just going to stand in front of Khalil and try to hope he lands a big shot. For Khalil, that was a good matchup there. He had a lot of success against Alex because, again, Alex is going to stand in front of him and have a similar, style. Anthony Smith, not really much of a phenomenal striker. That's good for Khalil, but Yuri, man, it's that movement that I think is going to be the difference. And once the fight gets later, it's Yuri that's going to really turn it on. So,
yeah, the thing I said it in my picks video, but I'm like, dude, who is Rountree knocked out? Like Anthony Smith,
yeah.
Chris Dawkins.
He didn't finish Marcin Prachnio.
Yeah, didn't he lose? He lost to him.
Yeah, he lost to Marcin Prachnio. Lost to Ion Kudalava.
Different fighter, but yeah, like he's knocking out Smith, Dawkins, Bukauskas. Like he couldn't knock out Jacoby. Like Jacoby's a guy that's been knocked out before. He couldn't knock him out, and I'm pretty sure he lost to him.
Oh yeah,
should have lost to him.
But again, that's like pretty kickboxer versus pretty kickboxer, where Khalil can like look good in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yep.
Yuri, let's go for that. Rountree is durable. Yuri has a wild style. Might be fight of the night. I don't really think Rountree's that durable, to be honest, but it would be a miracle if it made it to a decision, honestly.
Did you see
both guys would take a beating?
Yeah. Did you see Yuri post the video? I think it was on Embedded maybe, where he's like doing sprints with his mouth taped and his nose like pinched shut so he can't breathe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
He had like a clothespin on his nose and like tape on his mouth, doing sprints down the street.
Oh man,
he's a character, man. I wonder what would happen if you'd like throw him into like Killcliff or like American Top Team just for a year and see what like happens.
He's like, I'm not gonna allow myself to breathe. He just like passes out while he's doing it. He just biffs it. He's out of the fight. Oh man, fucking Yuri, man. He's so funny.
He's something else, dude.
All right, brings us to the co-main event. We got Merab taking on Corey Sandhagen. Sandhagen comes in at a plus 300 dog. Merab finally getting some big respect from the books, sitting at a minus 400 favorite. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this one because it's a wide line, and Merab was a guy that was consistently, I don't want to say counted out, but fights that he was a big underdog in. He proved to be championship worthy, and at this point, he kind of looks like he's unbeatable. What do you think?
Yeah, first, a lot of these champions, once they start getting respect from the books, something goes wrong. I mean, look at Alex Pereira, goes in there against Ankalaev, loses that last fight. Everyone was kind of thinking he was untouchable at this weight division. There was nobody really good at 205. I know you weren't. I know you had Ankalaev there, I think. But I don't know. I think Merab is a little bit different than most champions in the fact that, he's super focused. The guy has insane cardio, like maybe the most insane cardio we've ever seen. Is getting better with the striking. And, even if you are a better striker than him, he's just got such a high fight IQ at times where he takes the fight where he's going to be comfortable or he knows he can win it. But the problem is, like, Corey on the ground is good scrambling. He's very long. He's going to be, big and athletic here. I think that could give Merab problems at times. And while it's on the feet, I do think Corey's going to land some decent shots here. And he has those knees up the middle and elbows in the clinch. And, just a tall guy that, Merab is very short at the end of the day. It's not going to take a lot for that knee to get up to the chin. I know a lot of people touch on, the Umar fight with Corey and like, oh, if Umar beat Corey, there's no way that he's going to lose that Merab's going to lose to Corey. But Umar had to beat Corey by kickboxing because Corey would get back to his feet and was scrambling very well and made it very hard to implement a solid and successful wrestling game there. The Figueiredo fight, Corey looked phenomenal. I thought showed that his jiu-jitsu is very good along with the striking. Corey's just a very smart guy as well. I think this fight's going to be way, way closer than what these odds are saying. And at plus, 300 range, I think I'm going to take a shot on Corey, if I'm being honest. It just seems like the time where this belt might change hands and we're going to get the rematch with Merab. And I don't know. Nobody's unbeatable in this game, even if it seems like Merab is right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the fact that he's minus 400 is like, just screaming to bet on Corey Sandhagen. Like if you're one of these guys like us that's like knows nobody is forever unbeatable. Kamaru Usman was unbeatable at the time, and it took a Hail Mary, but he still got it done. And then all of a sudden he wasn't so unbeatable. And it happens, man. I think Corey Sandhagen has the skills to win the fight. I just don't know if I trust him to do enough, because if you're fighting Merab's going to outwork most opponents, and Corey Sandhagen at times just like doesn't do enough for me when I'm watching his fights. Like against Umar, you needed to do like a little bit more like every round, and I think he could have won it, but he just wasn't. Like it just seems like he's waiting for everything to be too perfect. So I think he's got to flip a switch. If he flips a switch, I think he can win, but we're not trying to predict if he wins or not. We're trying to get solid bets down that have good value. And I think there's some value on Corey Sandhagen at plus 300. I think it could come down to a 48-47 decision. And I really think Corey's going to be able to force Merab to scramble in a lot of situations. I don't think he's going to be holding on to Corey for minutes at a time. But if Corey is in that defensive mindset like he is a lot of the times, then he might be able to stall him up against the cage like he did to Aldo. Like that's just my real hatred for Corey's. Like he has so many skills. Like it just feels like he's so defensive in there at times. But yeah, man, it's a weird one for me because there's not really many props that I like either,
Yeah. And another thing I hate about these fights is like, yeah, you take a plus 300 dog, and then after it, you're like, how could I ever bet against a guy like Merab after Merab, beats him 50-45 or something?
Yeah.
So it's tough. But another thing that I like about the motivation for Sandhagen is it's kind of like now or never for him. It's been a long ass road to get to the title. And he's not getting any younger in a division where there's so many killers right now coming up. It's definitely, he's got to make the most of this opportunity. I think he knows that. And I think we're going to get the best version of him.
Yeah, I mean, Chirp says Corey keeps saying all week he's going to be completely offensive. Like he could say whatever, but
he's got to be like,
yeah. When Merab's in front of you and he's shooting a bunch of fucking takedowns, like you're probably going to resort to being defensive.
Yeah, that's the best part about Merab's game is that he's so dominant with his cardio and wrestling and marching forward. It's like you can't really get your offense going because the second you do, he's gonna put you up against the cage or he's gonna have you over his shoulder like you're a toddler and he's gonna put you in the middle of the cage. So, but we've seen Merab basically choked out. We've seen him hurt really, really bad before. I don't know.
He's been hurting in a lot of fights, but
a lot. I keep seeing a knee up the middle, man.
It just seems like he has nothing in his brain that allows him to like panic or get knocked out. Like there's no switch to flip. Like there's nobody home, bro. Like there's nothing to shut off here. So
the way he was like pedaling on the bike when he was about to get choked out in that fight was like the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. Because it was like 40 seconds or something that he was
the guy
pedaling.
Got submitted, he got choked out cold. He was unconscious and his body was still moving.
He's still riding the bike.
What the fuck?
That was against Ricky Simone, dude. That's insane. That Ricky Simone. Can you imagine like Ricky's at a bar one day? Yeah, I beat Merab Dvalishvili by sub. Subbed his ass. Yeah, you're like, yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, how about that? Like, they went back and reviewed that, right?
Yeah,
Like, it was a technical submission,
technical sub.
but Jake Matthews subs Neil Magny in round 1, and the fight just keeps going. You know what the fuck, dude?
What a call that was by that ref to say.
Oh,
Dude, Dominic Cruz was annoying on that call too because he knows that's not right, and he kept playing like that was great by the ref to reverse his decision.
he
Like,
always
Dom, like
he
bro,
always says is gonna err on the side of like the ref letting the fighters like continuing or whatever.
yeah,
Because Keith fucked him. But
yep.
did you notice that Contender Series announcer last night? Guy,
What fight? What was he doing?
the whole Contender Series card. He was like the John Anik role for the commentary, like the new guy.
No, I didn't really have the volume on because I had the kids running around.
He was I didn't really like him, man. Like
Huh.
this new kid on the block, man. I didn't like it.
He had like a little spicy attitude there.
He just seems so mainstream. Like this kid went to like commentary or something. He's not really a kid. I should say kid, but we'll see. I think he'll get better at it.
Yeah, it's like you can't come into the UFC booth and be like I'm a Syracuse grad. I gotta be real official. Like MMA, you gotta be like a relaxed, let it fly off the head like a John Anik or
it was just like a lot of like cookie cutter like lines and shit.
Yeah, like a baseball announcer or something.
Yeah. I didn't really like it, but we'll see if he sticks around. All right, let's go to the main event of the evening. We got Magomed Ankalaev looking to defend his title against the man he took it from against Alex Pereira. Pereira comes in here as a plus 225 dog. Plus 222. Came down a little bit as of right now. Plus 222 on Alex Pereira. Ankalaev minus 262. Let's not forget Ankalaev was a plus 105 dog in the first fight. And now he's a big favorite. And it wasn't exactly a fight that played out where I think he looked like a big favorite, but rematches are very tough to predict and really try to figure out how the fight's going to play out because especially immediate rematches because we haven't seen them since the first fight. So all we really have to go off of is that fight that happened back in March. And, I think there are some adjustments that Ankalaev could make, but I think there's also some slight adjustments that Pereira could make. I do think there's greater leaps that Ankalaev could use in this fight to further separate himself, whereas opposed to Pereira, outside of knocking out Ankalaev, I don't know if he's going to, come in here and just dominate him on the feet for 25 minutes. So I understand why Ankalaev is the favorite. I understand why he might look like a bigger favorite than what we saw back in March. I don't know if I'm going to bet it, though. I think the way I would look at this one is maybe just to take the fight doesn't go. I'm pretty sure the fight doesn't go, and that first fight was chalked.
Yeah.
Chalked to like minus 250 or something like that. So, I mean, I think there's some decent value getting the fight doesn't go at minus 140 or just taking the under 4.5 at minus 125. But I don't think I'll take a side. What do you think?
Yeah, I go back and forth because for a while it's like Alex Pereira is this figure in the UFC where he's got the ability to win any fight because of his power and because of his striking. I think that's still true to a degree, but at the same time, I just don't know what leaps he can make right now to beat Ankalaev. Like, I think Magomed could come out here and wrestle heavy if he wanted to and just give Alex a different look, and I think that could be a problem. But he showed on the feet, too, he's able to hit Alex. Alex is pretty hittable at the end of the day. He just can't get caught or he can't get that leg chewed up. Alex is at a point in his career where he's older. I don't think there's a ton of evolution left for his mixed martial arts game. And when you look at the two guys side by side with their records, I mean, Magomed's got still a ton more MMA experience at the end of the day. And, such a solid skill set all the way around to where, first fight was a lot of striking, some cage clinching, and that got him the win there. And Alex seemed off for sure. But, if Magomed goes heavier on the wrestling, I think it could be even worse this time around. Not going to count out Alex Pereira, but I think Ankalaev, now he's gotten that belt. He's super motivated. He's got a little more swagger to him now. Maybe he's going to get that, whatever people say when they become the champ, they get 30% better or whatever. And if he does that, if that's true, I think he beats Alex again here. I really do.
Yeah, I remember the first fight where everybody was, all the poetards were saying Ankalaev's not even a wrestler. He averages like 0.31 takedowns per 15 minutes or whatever. It's like, yeah, but he could still try to wrestle, and that completely fucked with Pereira on the feet because he was so low volume. And he defended all the takedowns, never got taken down, but he got fucking outstruck. So I mean, like, how does he come in here and win the fight? I think he's got to be more aggressive, and I think he's got to try to knock him out. Because I don't think the cautious route that he took in the first fight really served him well. I think he's got to be who he is, and so if he gets taken down, he gets taken down. Try to get back to the cage and try to get back up. But I think it looks worse if you're just getting outstruck by the guy that's supposed to be taking you down.
Right.
So I'll take Ankalaev here, man. Go ahead.
I'm wearing a Poetan shirt. I just realized.
Yeah.
Not picking him.
I have a Poetan shirt too, and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to take it to Vegas. I'm probably not going to wear it Saturday, but still love Poetan, man. Still a fucking sick fighter. I think if he wants to win, he's got to, southpaw in Ankalaev, orthodox in Pereira. I think he's got to rip a ton of body kicks, ton of head kicks, and just be sharp with his timing. And I think he should invest into the body a lot against Ankalaev to, get his hands a little bit lower.
Yep.
And, stop some of the forward pressure so that he can get into a takedown. But
this might be a bad take, but I think Alex, he's been open about having a rough life, even into his kickboxing career and stuff. And, now he's making money. It seemed like after the Magomedov fight, there was some contemplation about retiring and stuff. And, he's finally, in the last couple of years, making a bunch of money. I wonder if the UFC just offered him a ton of money for this rematch, headline a card. I don't really know how much Alex Pereira really has left to give to MMA in the UFC. If he loses here, I could see him hanging it up. He's comfortable, he's set, he's older. I don't know.
That's what Rude One said as well. I don't like Poetan saying he can't make 205 for much longer.
Literally, dude, that's so wild that he was 185, moved up. Now it's he can't make 205.
I could see Ank beating him and Alex giving his career a bit of a reevaluation. Maybe he just goes up to fucking heavyweight, dude. Who knows?
Some fun fights up there.
I mean, Pereira versus Cyril Gane.
That'd be sick.
Be okay.
Or Pereira versus what's his name? Who just won last weekend? Hold on, let me look.
Randall Pereira?
No, I'm thinking at 205.
Jimmy Crute?
No, I don't know why I can't. Hold on, let me look for the card. I can't find the card.
Sterling?
No.
Olberg.
Yes. Jimmy Crute versus Alex Pereira would be a complete comedy.
Bro,
can you imagine the next Apex card after Alex loses? Alex versus Brando Pereira.
Bro, Jimmy Crute versus Alex Pereira.
Oh my god!
Fucking line, dude.
Winner gets Dustin Jacoby.
Jimmy Crute.
Oh,
Jimmy Crute minus 300.
Oh my god!
I would actually love to see that Jimmy Crute versus Alex Pereira.
Oh shit!
Get it to the fucking White House.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's funny.
Throw fucking Ankalaev and Brando Pereira on there. Jimmy Crute. The 6'5" Russian that got robbed by Gane. Oh yeah, Volkov versus Pereira.
That'd be sick.
I
would fear for Alex in that fight, honestly. I think he would get his leg kicked off.
You tie Tuivasa versus Pereira.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Ty'd be doing that like stutter step when he's hurt, you know, every time he gets touched.
Oh, Ty Tuivasa. I think he's fucking OP piece of shit. I think he might be like, I don't think he's got a lot of life left, dude. He's fucking bad as hell. Holy shit, Ty.
No, the best one. Alex Pereira, Chris Barnett.
Oh, Jake Collier versus
Oh shit.
Veretennikov was crazy. The Black Beast versus Pereira. All right, man. That's gonna do it.
Fun card.
We ended with the fight to make Alex Pereira versus Jimmy Crute. Book it on the Australian card next year in February. Sydney, Australia. Main event. All right, boys. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Good luck to you this Saturday. And if you're in Vegas, hit me up. I'll be there. Maybe I'll see you at the sportsbook. Anything you want to shout out?
Shout out Home of Fight, Home of Picks, your YouTube show, all the people in the chat. Let's make some money this week.
Yeah, make sure you check out Nolan's YouTube. It's in the link. It's linked in the description and in the title. But I appreciate y'all. Till next time, we out.